So with the update, as I understand it, Bookoff in Japan, which has 850 stores throughout the whole of Japan, is looking to start to buy in PSA10 AR cards. And therefore, I would imagine, I have no confirmation on this yet, even after speaking to the staff at one of the stores here in Tokyo, that they will be displaying them. But if they're buying them in, I would imagine they will be displaying them. That means PSA graded cards will be displayed in Bookoff stores, possibly across 850 stores throughout Japan. That will give a massive exposure to grading. Grading does not happen here in Japan. It's even Akihabara. You go to Akihabara, you'll find about 7% of the stores have graded cards. Everything else is raw or boxes or loose packs, new products or figures, that kind of thing. They don't have graded cards. It's moved in the last, well, let's say 18 months, but honestly in the last 12 months. But like I said, it's still way below like 15%, 10%. It's like, yeah, it's just not there. It's increasing. But now, if Bookoff, which is, in my opinion, very similar to GameStop in the US, the setup, the kind of like way of thinking, and that's my opinion, okay, is similar. Therefore, I feel the exposure to graded cards will be increased across the whole of Japan. Hence, maybe the scarcity of rarer, raw quality, older cards, and possibly more modern cards as well. And a backlog at PSA Japan. Now, these are all my personal opinions, but if you suddenly open this up across the whole of Japan, that people say, oh, you can grade cards, and this might sound really crazy, but in Japan, even in Akihabara, like I said, you can go to 200 shops and you'll find less than 20 shops that have graded cards. Everything else is raw cards, as across different TCGs or whatever, but they don't have graded cards. And I've done videos on this before about the retail space, the actual retail space that graded cards take up against raw cards, and about the fact that you can't really negotiate so much on a PSA 10 against a raw card, because a raw card, as so many other people who've come to Japan have said, if you try to sell a raw card, they can say, oh, there's a little bit of whitening just there, or there's just a little bit of, I just don't like the look of that corner. Yeah, I'm going to give you 30% off of the, price we were advertising for. It says PSA 10. Okay, I know for very veterans of the PSA market that a PSA 10 can have a different level of a PSA 10. This is a green market, really green in Japan, right? So PSA 10, shops can't negotiate against the PSA 10. You take a PSA 10 in, and as long as the case isn't scratched up and it's not fake, right? Then their buy price is their buy price, and there's no negotiation. What are they going to say to you? Oh, I don't like this PSA 10 because whatever. There's no negotiation. So my personal opinion is, so many card shops in Japan didn't go into the PSA route or graded card route so far, is because it loses the negotiation for buying in cards, and it also increases the real estate they need to display the cards. You put 50 raw cards against 50 graded cards in a case, the real estate's so much different. And if you've ever been in Japan and you've seen the size of some card shops, you understand that that's just not physically possible for them to do. So it has to be online. So if someone, and I only have like a little bit of knowledge, a little bit of information, sorry, that Bookoff is going to start buying in PSA 10s and possibly displaying them. But if they do, like I said, they have 850 stores across Japan. That's gonna bring the awareness up so fast. And Japanese people move from 0 to 100 so fast. Sometimes you're like, why is nothing moving here? Why? And then just two things happen over here, and then boom, whoosh, everybody moves at the same time. So this could be that junction point. So it's going to be really, really interesting to see, and it will make a number of differences in the market. Raw cards will disappear. A lot of decent raw cards will disappear unless you have a shop and you can buy in from people who are honestly just clearing stuff from their houses or whatever. But generally a lot of raw cards will be just graded by collectors, and they'll see that they can sell them somewhere, because now unless you live in Tokyo, Nagoya, or Osaka, where are you going to sell your graded cards to? Unless overseas, and a lot of Japanese people are risk aversive, so they don't want to sell overseas because they're very wary of that. But if they can go into their Bookoff and sell a graded card for a better price than they could for the raw card, and it makes sense to grade it and then sell it in the PSA 10, then hey, we've just built a system. And if we've just built a system, we've just started a new era of selling cards in Japan. This sounds like Back to the Future, but it honestly is. If anybody has been in Akihabara, you just know there's just graded cards are not available. But now, if this is true, and like I'm saying, it's just my understanding that Bookoff is starting to buy in PSA 10 cards and maybe displaying them, and starting off with ARs, as I understand it, then this would open the whole market up and force everybody to do something different. Even they didn't want to do it, now they have to do it. Even their shop is too small to display, they're going to have to display or find a way around that. So this could be extremely interesting. All of this is my personal opinion, and from the information that I saw today at a Bookoff, I may have misunderstood it, but I don't think so. So just as a disclaimer, this is my personal information, personal opinion and personal information. Okay, so thank you. You heard it here first, and bye from Japan.